it's part of, you know, just generally getting through something. Like, why was I dumped, or why did I break up with them? I don't know about my decisions anymore. Whatever, whoever dumps who, you know, it's like you can talk about your exes all you want, but when you talk about them like by name, and I just feel like it's a little bit, you know, sad. Just like, I mean, the only reason I'm ever bring up my exes anymore is because people keep, you know, throwing accusations at me, and it's like, what am I supposed to do? When it's like you ignore the first one, you ignore the second one, you ignore the 20th one. But when it gets beyond that, it's like, at what point do I say, you know, hey, this is the truth?
Because people already saw the huge trail of stuff that led up to that point, and they're worried that it might happen to somebody else.
People were like, dude, you're crazy for being in this crazy, like being a part of this madness, and a lot of people thought,
yeah, like filming somebody supposedly having an amnesia thing, which I'm sorry was the fakest thing I've ever watched in my whole life.
See, I didn't know it was fake though.
How the fuck did you not know it was fake? You filmed the whole thing. I mean, what the?
Yeah, are we talking about the So and So is Beautiful, that video?
Oh my god, you already know what I'm talking about, dude. You're talking about the.
Well, no, I made two videos, right? Did I? I make a lot of videos, so I made two videos. One was of a memory loss, and another was of something else, right?
Why did you think that the first reaction you should have had was to film somebody having a memory loss thing?
Because it wasn't the first time that she went through something like that.
And then why the fuck didn't you call a doctor?
Because she didn't want me to. She already communicated that she didn't want to.
I wouldn't give a crap, dude. I work as a tech person for a hospital, okay? And I don't give a crap if my granddad didn't want me to take him to the hospital if he was having some kind of amnesia thing. I'm going to take him to a goddamn neurologist. Because if he was to die, it would be on my hands then.
Well, let me put it to you this way. If my ex-wife did something like that, I would have taken her to the doctor right away. But my ex-wife wasn't a dramatic person. She didn't have tantrums. She didn't throw fits. She didn't do anything. Okay, so I'm looking at this as a person who's very used to this abnormal behavior. So when I reacted, it was like, this is just another episode, and I felt like I should show her what she does if she is in fact unaware of it, because she said that she had a split personality before. She had admitted to having multiple strange disorders. She's even admitted in interviews to being a pathological liar. So I've been told. She admitted to me for being a pathological liar. Her uncle I was talking to on the phone said, why did I want her back? Because she's a pathological liar. And I said I didn't care. And then I found out she was, of course, cheating on me, as was brought to my attention by people who were paying attention to her Facebook, which I was not.
Well, you know, the thing of it is, it just looks really irresponsible because this is all, like, I don't know who else is talking in the background, but, like, if other people
it's the people who are supposed to be running the show.
Oh, whatever. But, you know, I mean, if it's supposed to, you know, be something that's taken seriously, this is all just basically online stuff. You know, this is why it looks inane to people. It looks really immature.
Well, okay, as far as the whole seizure thing, I did film that so she could see what she went through, and then when I showed it to her, she realized, because I have a very strict schedule where I have to upload X amount of videos per day, just because I feel like that's what I need to do. It's part of my obligation to my audience. Like I said once upon a time, I was suicidal, and I had to dedicate myself to something, and I said, well, I'm pretty much worthless unless I give myself some kind of purpose, and so I dedicated myself to, you know, doing videos and so forth, which is as valuable as you make it. But no, I keep to the schedule because it's so important to me. But anyway, I asked her, you know, do you want me to make an entirely new video, or do you want me to share what you went through with everyone? And she said she wanted me to share what I went through, or what she went through with everyone.
Who would say that?
Take it for what it is, but that's what happened. So
that just doesn't make any sense, because I don't think anybody would say that. Like, honestly, you made the
well,
whole
would
thing
someone
up so
would
you
someone
could get
take a
some
seizure on the floor? There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that happened in that relationship that didn't make sense.
Such as?
Well, such as me being so stupid that I didn't know what sepsis was when she said she had sepsis.
Yeah, and I don't even know if I believe that whole thing either.
Well, like, she tells me she has sepsis, and I'm like, oh, that's serious. What is that? She's like, oh, it's a blood infection. You know, because we had taken her to a doula, which was for the whole pregnancy thing. They're like kind of the side version of, you know, someone who actually delivers babies. They're like the hippie version or whatever. So we went to the doula, and they said that they did a blood test, and they said that she had, I'm probably remembering this wrong, but it was something like she had something wrong with her blood that was infected. For some reason, I'm thinking of fecal matter, something stupid like salmonella or some kind of weird infection or whatever. So she had to get treated for that, and we figured we would take advantage of free medical care or whatever in Canada. So that was part of why she was flying back. But she also said that she was called by the doctor, and they said that the results of that test, the infection was actually sepsis. And so I'm like, that's scary.
There's so much I don't believe about that, because one of the things is when you have a blood infection like sepsis, they don't even give you the results back. They put you immediately into a room because you could die within days.
Yeah, no. I know that now. I know that now. She told me she had sepsis. She told me it was serious. I think this is after I got her plane ticket to go back or whatever, because she had to, we were told by the doula that the baby had died inside her 6 weeks prior and had just been deceased. So, what's up? What? Who am I having? Sorry, this girl's Shelby. Shelby wants to talk, I guess. All right. Yes, you're supposed. I'm so sorry.
I've been casually around the living room for like 20 minutes.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Go on. You can. This is your show. You do this.
Are you still here?
Me? Oh yeah.
Other guy. Message me on Facebook, but like you're not helping, and I'm not trying to be rude, but like this is. Like, I got this, okay? I really don't pay your help with this right now. I need your help in general, but not, like, in this loud, aggressive way, please.
What? Sorry.
No one can hear me.
I'm not trying to be a jerk. It's really hard to understand you.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, if you understood me, you wouldn't be making videos.
I'm not talking to you. It's her.
Oh, okay.
What she said. She was talking to me, and I can't understand what she's saying. She's feeding back stuff.
Hey, wait. Okay. This thing just came up that says, this Brandon blocked Stevie. Do you want to block Stevie as well? Do you think that's how you were blocked?
I have no idea.
That, or you were blocked on Onision Speaks, because Onision Speaks is the running this.
I don't know. Somebody sent me a link, and I just flew over here for it. So.
Okay. You got your stuff together, Shelby?
What?
Take it away.
Oh, okay, good. I forgot where we were.
Probably the third questioner.
Question 3.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, that's where we were.
So what?
Okay. And this goes along with like the me and fans or whatever. But it's just back to like not practicing what you preach. I've noticed that you're anti-Muslim, you weren't doing much on trans people. Like they are.
Hold on. You I know the other guy doesn't believe this. You said something about not practicing what I preach, and I lost you at that.
Sorry. Are you sure you don't have like a stream with the thing out at the same time?
Yeah.
Because
no, it's just okay. You know how audio sometimes scrambles when you have a certain type of connection?
Yeah.
Like it makes that noise. That's what you're doing.
It's not really making an echo.
And just somebody in here has their speakers up really loud, so whenever somebody says something, you can hear it.
That's a double-edged sword, though. If I don't have my speakers up, then I can't hear.
Do you have headphones you could use?
But I plugged it into the audio port, and they didn't register. It just kept playing over my speakers.
Okay.
I don't know.
You would have another set of headphones.
No, I tried 2. I have. There's 2 right here. I tried both. All right. Well, hopefully it's not the worst end result later. Go on. I forgot where we were.
Back to not practicing what you preach. Like, there were a few more examples. A lot of people gave a lot of examples of that, and like a lot of people asked the same questions over and over. And it kind of all went around. You're frozen, I think. No, you're not.
Oh, I was just sitting still.
No, you were just like being really still.
Okay.
Anyway.
So you're basically asking why don't I practice what I preach on a regular basis?
I have examples that people gave me, like, why do you say that you're a feminist and then you say all these awful things and you kind of...
In comedy videos?
Serious videos. And
in comedy videos or serious?
No, in serious videos.
What did I say?
Oh, well, I mean, like, you blasted one of your exes, like very public, went into graphic detail on what you did with her sexually, like
no, I didn't. No, I didn't.
I can link you to it.
No, I didn't go into graphic details. Actually, I did go into graphic detail. You're right.
You're talking about she spit in her hands and gave you a hand job, dude. That's too graphic. Anyway.
Well, that was after. I talk about defense. That was after she released 5-page essay. Right. Talking about graphic details. Like, people like to say, I started that. I was actually just clarifying what happened because she warped a lot of things in that. And it was really disturbing the things that she warped because she made it sound like she was literally like somebody who didn't even know what sex was or anything like that. When in fact she was more experienced than I was. So it was really curious to me why she would, like, okay, for instance, I like to use this reference because it really freaked me out. I'm debating whether or not I should go there. We got off an elevator, and she points at this chair right off the elevator, and she's like, we should have sex right there. And I'm like, no, because that's the dumbest thing. Like, we could get caught. But, like, that is just one thing that she did that completely blows away so many other things that she implied that she was. She says she's this one person, but she's not. And then later on, here's the key thing. I actually posted it to my site with the name censored out and stuff. But she sends me this long apology letter after everything we've gone through, after all the videos I made about her, and after all the things she wrote about me publicly. She writes this apology letter saying, I'm sorry I said what I did. Here's my phone number. I'm moving to Seattle. And she says, we could possibly be friends in the future. I'm thinking, somebody who really is thinking I'm a bad guy isn't going to give me their phone number, isn't going to say that they want to be friends and stuff. So it's like, I'm just the person people want to attack for this when really she's the one who launched the attack. I was just defending myself. And this is the huge mistake that I made. I actually agreed with her initially. I said, I saw the voice. I told people, go check out her blog. She's so right about me or whatever. I didn't even read it. I briefly went over it. I was feeling like crap, and I thought that me saying, this is how stupid I am. I thought that me saying that she's right, I'm wrong, because I was in heavy rebound mode throughout that whole thing because of all the crap I went through with my last ex, and how I fled from the house because the cop advised me to flee from the house, and I was living in this new place. I was crying all the time, and I was just horribly distraught. It was disgusting. But anyway, I just lost my train of thought.
Okay, well,
the point. No. What was I just saying? I want to finish this. I agreed with her because I thought that she would take me back. That's because she released voicemails of me saying, "Hey, I'm sorry for everything," because I did that. We broke up so many times. I dumped her like 8 times, and I kept taking her back because I was just a sad person.
Yeah.
So that was me attempting to get sympathy from her and to get her to support me. But when I found out she was just going to go with it, like she was just going to support all the things she said, I actually read through it, and I was like, wow, this needs to be corrected. And that's when I started saying, okay, you went into a hotel room with your boyfriend and you didn't expect to do things with him, even though you discussed it prior. And then later on she was completely consensual too. That's what's weird, is there was no resistance or anything. The only thing that was resistant was like one sexual thing, and that didn't happen.
That just sounds really creepy to me.
What's that?
The whole thing. Just to me, that sounds really creepy.
What's creepy?
The way you're talking about it, like she's like a piece of meat.
She's not a piece of meat. She just said a lot of things about me that I corrected.
And you don't think that after having a huge amount of fame attached to your name that it's gonna look good? That you're like.
Did you see how people responded? I got more hate than I got support, and
So,
Like
the thing that bothers me is, why does this all matter to you so much? If you don't think you're doing anything wrong,
it's a stupid principle thing. It's like, you know, hate me for what I am, not for what you think. It's stupid. It's a very trivial ego thing.
Okay.
It's just an ego. It's stupid and it's immature. And I was very wrong for it. I should have been the bigger person, but I wasn't. So that's all I can really. I mean, obviously, I'm not doing things like that now.
Well, you can't ask somebody like 8 times in a row to take you back and expect them to want to do it, because then they're just going to look at you like you're kind of pathetic.
Well, she took me back a lot of times in the past. That wasn't the first time that happened. I dumped her multiple times. Like I said, 8 times or so. So like I thought she would take me back again. She didn't. So
Okay.
yeah. Anyway, back to Shelby.
Okay, back to the point I was trying to make. Is that, I mean, it's one thing to defend yourself, but it's another thing to, like, say the things that you said about her. You didn't have to go into detail, especially, like, you know that your main demographic is kids between the ages of 13 and 17.
That's not true. That's not true. The majority of my audience is over 18.
I can go to, like, any video I go to. Let me see.
The videos show the demographics?
Yeah, the video shows the demographics. I'm right here.
Well, I posted a screenshot of the total
Right here,
demographics.
show my life. They're gone. What did you disable your demographics?
Huh?
I looked at the demographics days ago.
How do you see that? I don't know how you see that.
You go to the bottom and you click the statistics button.
It might be, I agree that on the total analytics it's like 40% or 40-something%, but it's not the majority. Not that it really, that's all trivial. I mean, you may as well say it's the majority. I guess it doesn't really matter. The point is
But like your biggest demographic is young kids. It really is. If you go to any of your videos, you can tell these kids are like 12, 13.
Okay, on the Speaks channel, I'll just give you the benefit of the doubt. I know I've actually taken a screenshot of what my audience is as of last month, but we'll go with what you're saying. We'll say that the majority of my Speaks audience is people under 18 and impressionable. And you're saying, you know, how could you say whatever? It's like all these things about my ex that I did, I'm not defending myself at all. I was very immature in what I did. Like, it didn't matter if I was right or wrong. The way I handled that was completely out of line. So there's no real defense there.
Definitely not.
Yeah. So obviously that's a lesson learned, something I shouldn't do in the future. I mean, you know, these people, that my exes, my ex-wife is the only one who didn't really publicly attack me. She just financially and physically took my stuff, but
well, there's another one though. Like, it was court-appointed alimony. You can't really accuse her of stealing from you. That's just how it works. You can stand up and.
Oh no, she physically stole stuff from me. Like, you're supposed to take half of. Well, actually, you know, there's an extent to that. Technically, the only thing she stole was a gift I was given by Google, which was a TV. Everything else was community property. Because you can't take people's gifts, but you can take the stuff that they purchased or whatever. So she took all my toilet paper, all my pans, like a bunch of other stuff. That was like she naturally took one of the beds and dressers and all that stuff.
You would take a bed, right? If there are 2 beds, 1 bed is half, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
She
fair.
took the good one though.
This like seems pretty fair to me. Like, we divorced. You took half of my stuff.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing that a lot of people don't know. First of all, you know, I did that whole prenup thing where she cried. She didn't, you know, she was upset about me not wanting her to take my assets if we ever.
Which is justifiable to me too. That makes sense.
What, to cry? You know, if you're a guy who's been through divorce, you and someone's went after your money, then you avoid girls who would make a big deal over it because you don't want to be paying 2 alimonies instead of just 1 if your marriage fails. You know, because I'm paying alimony for, you know, another 4 years, and it's like, why do I still have to be connected to this person? Why am I paying them?
It's the law, dude.
It was a contractual agreement. It was something.
You need to take your beef up with the law, not with your ex-wife.
Well, she lied to get what she did,
And
and
not
that's
only
why I
that,
felt it was
but I'd like
dishonest.
to add that alimony is mandated by a judge. When they look over everything in the case, they have to make a decision
However,
based on what they see.
It never went to court because I was afraid that she was going to be awarded an insane number. So I went with a number that I thought I could afford, and that was $90,000. I figured over 6 years I could pay off $90,000.
How did it get awarded to you if it didn't go to court or whatever?
She was pursuing me for $150,000, and I was afraid that I was going to lose that amount or more. So I just said, hey,
But what
I
I'm
said,
saying
hey,
is
how
just-
about?
Other guy. I don't want him to feel ganged up on. So
I'm fine. But this is Shelby's show though. So no, but let's just to clarify, I did agree to the 90,000, and that's because I was afraid. And you know, I can complain day and night about that, but the reality is you guys are right. I agreed to that. So that's that, and it is the law. You know, just because I feel the law is unfair doesn't make it any less fair in the law's eyes. So I got nothing.
You'll still bring it up though. You'll still bring up your issues and stuff with her when it's the law.
Oh, that's because it hurts.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Seeing.
Dude,
Imagine you work, you know, every day for something,
didn't she
and
work?
somebody gets a percentage of that. Somebody you broke up with a long time ago. It may be fair, but it still hurts. And you'll find ex-married men on a regular basis do the same thing because it sucks. It really does. I feel like if I was to separate with someone, I wouldn't want anything from them because I wouldn't want to rely on them. I would be so upset with them. I wouldn't want anything to do with them. And I think it's weird that anybody would be okay with that, and some people are. So that's whatever. But I'm just saying it sucks, and I have every right to complain that this is happening. I don't, however, have a right to not pay it because I'm legally obligated to pay it. So I know it's the law.
Dude, like, you'll still talk about her and.
Well, okay. I feel like if somebody is paying me, you know, over $1,000 a month, they have every right to bitch about it because I'm laughing all the way to the bank. So if I can't even bitch about it, then you know how am I supposed to cope with
Well,
it?
this actually ties in perfectly with another question that somebody asked me. Are you ready for this question?
Go.
Okay, the question is, how are you planning about financing when you made 6 figures last year? If you're making 6 figures a
Well,
year,
here's the thing. First of all, I don't want to discuss finances. I know that what a lot of people think I make, they're wrong, but I believe it's against certain policies that I even talk about it. But I do just want to say, I spend 80% of my income, most likely, somewhere around that, on business, on improving my videos, on generally, creating a better environment for the creation and the increasing quality of these videos. And so when you're taking away from, my ability to improve, it's upsetting because this is my passion. So that's why I'm complaining, because so much of my focus, my whole purpose in so many ways is making these videos. And it's that much more bitter when I find I can't do certain things because of that lack in funds. So that's why I complain. It's like, and also if you look at it from a taxes perspective, people in a certain income situation, such as self-employment, etc., they lose so much of what they make to taxes. So, I mean, it's when you're young, you don't understand that, but when you're older, you start to realize the money you make isn't really the money you make. So that's why that's kind of a bigger deal.
I guess. I just don't understand why you still are like blaming her and being mean to her about it when it's court mandated.
It's because she lied. She lied to get she guilt tripped me out of signing a prenup, and then she lied on the legal documents to obtain the final thing. If she got it fair and square, it wouldn't be a problem. It was just, and then on top of that, her mom stole a contract that we signed together. It wasn't like a legitimate contract in the eyes of the law per se, because we didn't have someone we didn't have a notary. but we typed up an agreement together that she would only take $12,000. I would give her the $12,000 to help her survive for the first period after we divorced. And I also offered her to live in my house for a period of 2 years where I would pay all of her bills, and I would take care of her until she was able to be on her own. And she stole that when she took everything else. So there was like just so much dishonesty in that. And so obviously I'm going to be bitter about it because I felt so wronged. However, to reiterate what I said before, taking that online was one of the most irresponsible things I could have done. Complaining to a bunch of people who have nothing to do with it, whose business it is not. That was wrong. So
That was not.
You were agreeing with me, disagreeing with me.
Definitely not a good idea.
Yep. You know, woulda, shoulda, coulda, didn't. So now what do we do?
Good. Glad that the question about that's out of the way. Are we okay?
Is your camera off?
No. Why isn't the camera off? My camera should not be off. Someone opened after. I don't know what.
I don't know. It's frustrating. It's new. It's completely
Someone turned off the camera. Okay. Yeah. Another question that I got from a lot of people is, why do you tell your fans to ignore the haters? Haters, that word.
And then I pay attention to them myself.
Yeah, and then you pay more attention to them than to your fans almost.
That's not true. I pay more attention. I pay more attention to actually.
A live chat with them.
I'd say. Oh, why I'm not having a live chat with them?
Why aren't you having a live chat with one of your fans? You could be making someone's day right now. Instead, you're trying to, I don't know, talk to a hater who isn't even the hater.
You know, supply and demand.
What?
Supply and demand. I've gotten so many requests for me to have a live discussion with somebody, emails and demands on Tumblr and demands on Twitter and so forth to have a discussion. And I chose you because you seem the least creepy out of everybody. So that's why I'm doing this, is because it's supply and demand. You know, I know people are still going to dislike me after this is over, and that's fine. But at least it's done. And at least, you know, a few more people maybe know me for who I am rather than what they think I am. So, but no, I give advice that I don't take a lot because I know it's the best thing to do. However, I'm too weak to take it myself, to put it bluntly.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why, like the hater video on hater video on hater video. You make so many videos about your haters that you're like, but don't talk to them.
That's therapy for me. Whenever I make those videos, it's just my way of coping. You know, people say, how do you deal with haters? I bitch about it. That's how I do it. As most people, I mean, a lot of people bitch about haters. That's just the way humans do a lot of things. We complain about stuff.
Like, you know, you're like, you know, throwing gas in the fire when you do that, right?
Oh yeah, it gets so much worse. When you like, for instance, this chat is probably going to be, you know, analyzed and ripped apart. Did you see him squint when he said that? He's probably lying. Did you see him laugh at her condescendingly as if he's better than her? Oh my God, he's such a douche. Like everything I do, you know, I got to
agree.
Yeah, you know what it's like to have haters.
Well, yeah, I've had some at some points, you know, but even I got to agree, it's kind of stupid when people overanalyze the smallest of things. I'll agree with that.
Have you seen people take pictures of my wife, and they only take the pictures where she's not smiling, and then they say before and after, like it's just the worst thing in the world. Like I've just completely wrecked her life. I find that
people were taking pictures of her when she was getting sick because they knew she was pregnant.
Yeah, well. That's out there. You didn't take pictures? She says she hasn't taken pictures when she's sick. She's been here the whole time listening. So.
Oh, she's here. Hi, Lainey. How are you?
I think she's silent, though.
Okay. Good luck with being pregnant. I don't know what that's like. But
oh, you don't want to know. It's pretty.
More power to you. It sounds like hell. My mom did it twice.
Anyway, back on topic.
Good luck with that. Anyway. Back on topic. The hater question.
It's very wrong.
Like, you always say that you accept differing opinions, but you don't. Some of your older videos are very my way or the highway. Like, stick to those ideals, and, you know, you post about stuff. Like, if you're gung-ho about a topic, you, like, pound at it forever, you don't accept a differing opinion.
I agree that my older Speaks videos are often, not always, but often one-sided, and it is very my way or the highway. You know, I could say that's because it attracts more attention, blah, blah, blah. But really, it's just me being a lot of the time I'd say it's me being immature and not having a realistic perspective. When you go online, a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people detach themselves from society, where they stop thinking how they would talk to somebody if they were right in front of them, and they start talking like they're literally in front of an audience, you know, preparing for war or something like that. It's really immature. It's really stupid. But as far as, I don't know, as far as not listening to other opinions, I do on a regular basis, and I do self-analyze. It's just, that's not something a lot of people like to, you know, acknowledge, and maybe that's because I'm not making it obvious enough. But I am looking through a lot of comments a lot of the times, and I am considering whether or not, like, I've had people say really mean things to me, but they're so right that I don't even, you know, ignore them or block them or whatever. I just like for instance, you guys have said a lot of things to me that are, I mean, they're not nice, but they're also true. So I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, conversation over, you know. So it's, I would say in the beginning, I couldn't handle a lot of criticism, where I just, you know, block people. And I do have very little room for, you know, negativity on Twitter and stuff, because that's like directly to me, and I look at Twitter to connect with fans, not with haters. So I guess that kind of counters the previous point where you stated that I pay more attention to haters than fans. No, I block haters like crazy. So that's not true there. But no, I like seeing positive things, so I tend to, when someone annoys me, I block it. But that doesn't mean I'm going to block someone just for saying something that they're right for, even though it doesn't sit well with me. I mean, it's happened, but it's not something that I prefer to do. Like, also, I'm having this discussion with someone on the forums, and I've had this a few times, where I don't block someone from the forums just because, you know, they have a valid point, and there's no point in just, you know, reacting to it angrily. Yeah. And I guess what helps is just not letting it get to you, and just focusing on what's right more than what's in the best interest of your ego. So that's that.
Okay. You've kind of done it. Recently, though, you've had some pretty long posts. The most recent one was, cutting was the most recent one. You have some very, very skewed perception of cutters. It just all comes down to time. It's not for attention, like most of the time. Most cutters I know cut on their legs and on their head.
Tell me, oh, you know what, actually, I could go into a big discussion about, you know, why people post images of them cutting themselves to the internet. What is that going to help? Obviously, it's for attention. Why would I post, you know, my problems to the internet? What is my goal? You know, probably for attention. But here's the thing. Here's the thing with cutting. With cutting, I've had a lot of people tell me that I've helped them. They've responded to me saying that was tough love. You can see it on my Tumblr. People respond to me regularly saying they've stopped cutting because of the videos I've done. Not everyone responds to the same tactic the same way. But I will say that I don't know. I've never been a cutter. I've been diagnosed with chronic depression. I've been suicidal multiple times. I've never been a cutter. It doesn't make sense to me. It seems very stupid to me. And that's just an opinion of one person who's never experienced it. So when people say you don't understand cutting, I agree with them. I don't understand cutting. And when they say you don't know what you're talking about, I also agree, because I don't know what I'm talking about. I've never felt what they do.
Well, then why do you talk about it and try to pass it off like the truth about cutting? Like I think, wasn't that one of your videos, the truth about cutters or something like that? You just did what cutting is funny or cutter fail. That was completely inappropriate.
Okay, hold on. Never take a comedian seriously in a comedic. Do you ever watch the show Tosh.0?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But on Tosh.0, he says a lot of things that are just foobar, you know, and it's for the sake of laughing. Like, doctors will stand around an operating table and make horrible jokes about the person they're operating on. And I think it's all part of coping. You know, it's not about, you know, victimizing someone. It's about just not taking life so seriously. You know, so to take comedy seriously is kind of like, you know, try and strip that relief away from people.
Okay, but you're laughing at them, not with them.
If I said something in a serious context about cutting, that was wrong.
Laughing at cutters isn't helping them cope, though. You're laughing at them. You're not laughing with them because you don't know.
I laugh at everybody, including myself.
But I do know that cutting releases endorphins, which relieve pain, which is why people cut.
Okay. Nevertheless, I'm going to joke about the worst things, and I'm going to laugh, and that's what I do. So, I mean, if you don't like Family Guy tells rape jokes on a regular basis. They did so many rape jokes. I don't like rape jokes personally. If you notice, I've never really, you know, made fun of had a rape victim in my videos and made fun of them or anything because I don't find it to be funny. But I'm not going to contact Family Guy and say, hey, you guys are horrible for joking about that. I don't get the humor, but I'm not going to act like they're bad people for telling a joke because it's a joke. Jokes aren't meant to be serious. I
actually have points about Family Guy and South Park and how you compare yourself to them. If you have a minute.
It's is this about validating whether or not someone's, you know, in the league of valid and invalid comedy? Or, oh, one's cartoon form, so it's okay, but this guy's on YouTube, so he can't do the same thing?
Not even a little bit. It's about
all right, do it.
South Park and Family Guy typically have a message behind the jokes. You know, like I have some examples written down. There was an episode.
No, they don't. Family Guy. What is Family Guy's message? Okay, Family Guy has Peter Griffin walking along the beach. Hold on, Family Guy. All right, you win. Go ahead. You win.
Anyway, Family Guy, there was an episode where Lois's brother was a serial killer who only strangled fat guys, and there were a lot of fat jokes, but the core message was that we should treat fat people the same way we treat anybody else. There was another episode where Peter was going around to random fat people asking, hey, are you Big Fat Polly? Because he was looking for Big Fat Polly. And one guy kicked him and says, I have a glandular problem, asshole. So Family Guy understands that there are different things going on there.
Okay, explain this joke. Explain this joke.
But then you sit there
No, explain this joke, because I have something to destroy that point you just made. Explain this joke. A girl is on a beach, and she's screaming help because she's about to get raped by a masked man. And Aquaman's standing in the water going, sorry. What's the moral behind that one?
And that's supposed to be funny?
I'm not saying it's funny. I'm saying it's Family Guy.
And I'm saying, and what we're saying is there's a difference between what George Carlin does as a comic and you do. He knows how to be funny.
See, that's you cannot validate comedy because everybody finds different things funny. I wouldn't have very many subscribers if I didn't have the capacity to be entertaining.
But he's doing it to be funny, and you're doing it to be like offensive.
Yeah, I think you're just.
You guys are validating comedy. Family Guy does things to be offensive too. So, like lots of comedy. Okay, Dennis Leary does tons of things to be offensive. You know, there's tons of comedians that do things to be offensive. You guys really shouldn't try to validate whether or not one thing's funny or the other thing's funny. It's like saying one thing's art and another thing's not art. Everything is art. Art is a matter of perception. You guys, this is a part of the I cannot relate to you because you really are. You're trying to say whether or not something is for fact or not funny. And that's not how comedy works. If I wasn't funny, I would have 1 billion dislikes on every video. Okay,
when
so
it's on a video where you've got your ratings on, yeah.
Actually, give me a video the ratings aren't enabled on.
Have tons
that's
of videos.
Comedy. That's comedy. And I would be careful because Shelby over here has her ratings disabled too.
Yeah, just getting a multitude of violent death threats from your fans.
They can't threaten you. They can't threaten you through dislikes.
They didn't. They threatened me through comments saying they were going to come to my house and kill me.
Hey, I've been there. People have said that to me many times.
And you think that you having a positive influence on people by not letting them do this and not telling them to stop?
I just told them to stop, and I've told them that I don't support it whatsoever multiple times.
But they didn't listen to you, obviously.
Well, that's not, dude. I'm not a puppet master.
I'm not saying you are, but you're a role model.
Well, okay, for instance, I got a threat the other day. What about fans of hate blogs? Like, it goes both ways. You know, I get threats. You guys, I guess, get threats. That's part of, you know, being online and having an opinion. We get threatened.
Shouldn't you be encouraging these people from day one to not do this? You seem to just be
Shouldn't you?
Advantage of it.
You make videos specifically hating on me.
Yeah, I'm encouraging these people not to go out and send you death threats. I'm encouraging them to think about two sides of a story.
I'm not encouraging them to threaten you guys at all. Nobody here in this group is telling anybody to threaten anybody. Okay, so why are we acting like we are?
Because clearly somebody's getting sent death threats here.
So am I. I've been threatened multiple times, and so is my wife. What's your point?
Yeah, but it's not because of one person. It's because
and there's a difference between that.
I'm telling you. Okay, I don't know about you, but my wife, myself, and Shelby have all been sent threats. Okay, so none of us are encouraging threats. So what is the point? You know, I don't know about Shelby discouraging her viewers from threatening me and my wife, but I've discouraged people on Tumblr multiple times. I haven't been as blunt as I just was, but I have said that it's not okay to threaten people in the past and that I don't support it. You know? So, I mean, this is... You guys... The last two... I've agreed with so many points that you guys have brought forward, but the last two about comedy and threats, it's just... To me, it's so incredibly invalid because one, you're trying to make something that's not based on fact or fiction, and the other, you're trying to act like somebody's responsible for the actions of others, and the reality is that everyone's responsible for the actions of themselves. If you look at Insane Clown Posse, they make songs specifically about murdering people and how fun it is, but they are not responsible for the viewers going out and murdering people because they don't tell anybody to do that. They're merely expressing an art form, you know? So I don't even, you know, talk about how fun it is to murder people, but I'm sure I've made sketches where I've made light of murder and stuff like that. But it's comedy, just like their music and you know, all these other shows, Family Guy and so forth. Nobody's responsible for the actions of others unless they specifically instruct those individuals in a serious context to go out and do things. Like maybe.
That's not what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at is that, you know, most, if not almost all of your videos have a lot of that kind of stuff in it. And it's got a negative context in it because you're talking about kids who are like 14 years old who don't know shit about the world yet.
You know, there's in entertainment, there are a billion people, probably not a billion, a million people at least, that you could write the same message to. You know, you could say, you know, the media needs to control itself because a child could just flip on the TV and see horrible things. And you could also say that the parents need to control their kids. You know, it's all here and there and everywhere. So like if you want to attack me for that, or if you want to say that I'm wrong for that, I'm not alone. I got the entire all of Hollywood standing behind me going, whatever, dude. You know, I mean, I'm not implying I'm sitting here Mr. Hollywood because I'm just a YouTuber, but the point is that I am an entertainer.
Yeah,
and,
but as an entertainer,
and many entertainers that what?
But as an entertainer, you have a certain influence over the people that watch your stuff.
I realize that. I realize that there's an influence. However, I'm not going to restrict myself from telling certain jokes and saying certain things just because of the potential outcome, because there's so many variables involved. There's a billion possibilities in me just flipping on my camera and saying, hey, what's up? You don't know how people are going to react to anything you do because people are so broad and there's so many different types of people out there. The best you can do is just be yourself and not obviously tell anybody to do anything negative to another person. I mean, that's the bare responsibility. Don't instruct your audience to harass them. Don't act like people should make, you know, threats or anything like that. And you should be fine. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just expressing myself. So, Shelby, you want to take it away?
Yeah. I think the problem with the cut or fail video is that
the cut or fail video has helped tons of people. I've gotten tons of messages about that. Just FYI.
You've probably gotten more negative ones.
Okay, well, put it to you this way. I haven't gotten a single message that said I've started cutting because of that video. I've gotten numerous messages from people saying I have stopped cutting. Your blunt honesty and the way you made it look so unrealistic made me realize how silly it is, and I've stopped cutting. I've gotten so many messages, and so like all the people who have said that I've helped them with that video have made me feel like it was all worth it. And that's why the video is still going. Because yes, people, not everyone responds to it the same way, but a lot of people have actually changed their life significantly for the better because of it.
It's great for those people, but a lot more people were hurt by what you said. And then the problem with the cutter video is that you've made videos previously blaming cutters and, you know, shaming cutters and telling people for attention, and then you go and make cutter fail, mocking them more. Leave them alone. Like, at this point, it's getting ridiculous.
Cutter
you
fail
made a bunch of
was...
statuses about them the other day. Like, just leave the subject alone at this point.
Cutter fail is was a video reflecting on the internet in general. It wasn't, you know, it's I'm gonna reflect on a lot of things.
But you went after.
I don't think there's a lot of things that are off limits.
You went after them in that video.
But I mean, I don't really have anything else to say about.
You've already gone after them multiple times. Beating a dead horse.
It's not going after people. There's no targeting or anything.
Legitimately hurt.
It's just covering topics that are. If cutting wasn't something that people talked about, I probably wouldn't talk about it, because why? Like, nobody can relate to it, so what's the point? But when you have people, you have a large percentage of the internet community going, this doesn't make any sense. Of course, as an entertainer, you're going to either agree with it or disagree with it and make a video in accordance with it. And that's what I did. And I understand your request for me to not make videos about it anymore, and I probably won't. But I'm not going to change my daily inspirations based on the demands of people who, if they don't like my videos, shouldn't even be watching them. Like, why do people get themselves involved in things that they will negatively respond to, as far as, you know, channels go? Like, if I don't like a channel, like I said, I don't watch hater videos or anything like that, because I'm going to respond negatively to it. I'm just going to feel like crap. So why are these people coming to my videos knowing they're going to hate it and watch it anyway, you know?
But a lot of people who have been hurt by these videos are your fans, and I've seen
they consented to watching it.
From them saying, Greg, this hurts.
They voluntarily clicked on it, and a lot of those videos I actually have, you know, I have a disclaimer or something that says, you know, warning, this video is about cutting, as you can see in the title. Me personally, if I'm someone who cuts themselves, I'm not going to watch someone do comedy on cutting, because I feel like it'll probably trigger me or make me upset. So a logical person looks at that and says, I won't even watch it. But then they watch it and they get mad, and it's like, you chose to watch it. Just like I'm not going to go out and watch meat eater videos that, you know, are belittling animals and saying, you know, tasty, whatever, because I'm going to get pissed off. So I don't troll my own emotions by watching it. You know, so you're saying, hey, people got mad at you for talking about something that you felt. You should feel bad about yourself. And it's like, no, those people chose to watch it, and I didn't break any rules. So
but these kids, they look up to you. And a lot of them are subscribers, and they go to this video expecting you to help them, and instead you're like, it's your fault. You're doing it for attention. And it hurts them. I've seen a lot of comments like, I love you, Greg, but hurt. This hurt my feelings. This was wrong of you. And then you just keep doing it. Like, it's not even the, like, who are doing it. Like, a lot of the fans are getting offended by it. It's hurting your own fans.
The only thing I can really say to that is that I do what I'm inspired to do, and if people are upset by something, that sucks. But at the same time, I'm not going to ignore what I'm inspired to do, and it certainly isn't to hurt feelings. It's to make comedy of something or help. You know, and comedy.
Depressing the subject.
What's that?
I feel like if you're hurting your fans' feelings, you shouldn't be touching on the subject.
If I constantly worried about whether or not I was hurting someone's feelings, I would never make a video.
But it was a lot of people. You got a lot of negative feedback from your 10 reasons to stop cutting, and then you go on to make cutters fail.
I got a lot of positive feedback too. You can't look at it, you know, as a pessimist.
Positive. Look at likes to dislikes. A lot of dislikes on that video.
And you know what most people do when they get a lot of dislikes? When somebody gets a lot of dislikes on a video, they either disable the comments and disable the ratings, or they take down the video altogether, or they leave it up because they stand behind what they said, or they just want people to know that that's what they did. They made a joke like this. They're not ashamed of that joke. So, like, you know, if some people are going to be upset, you know, that I made a video on cutting, you know, a video that they voluntarily chose to watch, that's their choice. I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing just because people are getting their feelings hurt, though, because I do feel like it's actually helping a lot of people. And, you know,
when you name it you name it cut or fail. Don't you feel that's trivializing and blighting an issue as if it's not really all that serious? I mean, doesn't that sound like it's trivializing something?
I'm not concerned with the aspect of worrying about whether or not people are going to be upset or feel trivialized on a comedy channel. It's comedy. You know, if we're going to put, you know, restrictions on comedy based on what we feel in response to it, what is comedy? Comedy is a controlled, filtered, lifeless force. If you do that, I mean, I may as well be sitting in a church right now listening to people go, "Oh, what, you know, the Bible says you shouldn't do this and that." You know, I'm not a religious person for a reason.
But I'm not
I don't believe in controlling so much.
Oh, I'm not talking about
how people express themselves.
I'm not talking about religion.
I'm saying that's what it feels like when you talk about all this moralistic stuff on what you can and can't joke about.
Well, they're serious topics, you know. I mean, you can't just sit there and say that.
And I love seeing people talk about horrible issues in a comedic manner, like dead baby jokes. I would hate to see anything that has to do with a real baby death. But if we're talking comedy, say what you like. It's comedy. Don't take it seriously. It's a way of coping with the ugliness of the world. That's what comedy's here for, is to make us feel better about everything, to make us, you know, laugh our biggest issues off as if they're not such a big deal for at least 5 seconds.
Just the issue is that people watch 10 Things I Hate About Cutting, or whatever you're originally thinking about cutting.
I believe it was How to Stop Cutting or something like that.
That's the one, yes. How to Stop.
Yeah, and it actually helped people stop
you
cutting.
You were going to help them, and instead you read the results and told them they were attention seekers. And then that really hurt a lot of people who are personally struggling with this. It's a difficult struggle, from what I understand with my friends who cut. I don't do it. I don't know. But I have plenty of friends who do, and they're really affected by it. And if you say things like that hurts them, and you understand that you hurt a lot of people.
And I also helped a lot of people, though.
But you hurt more people than it was more
don't know that.
than it was helpful.
I haven't gotten messages from people saying that I've hurt them more than I've gotten messages from people saying that I've helped.
Because I don't message personally, but the comments, a lot of people are pissed off, and they have every right to be pissed off.
Yeah, sure. But you know, if you're sensitive to cutting, you shouldn't be watching a video on cutting. You know, if I'm depressed, I'm not going to watch videos on depression.
Yeah. But they went to the video thinking you were gonna help them.
I did. If you actually paid attention to what the video covered, it gave you 10 valid reasons, or however many valid reasons, as to why you should stop cutting. If you actually paid attention, like basically what that was is mean vlog format, trying to help people, and then for the sake of making the video entertaining, because I was reaching a wider audience with the main channel, for the sake of making it entertaining, I told jokes about it, the way society often attacks the issue. So you see someone trying to help you, and then you see a societal joke, and then you see them trying to help you, and you see a societal joke. Some people paid attention only to the jokes. Some people paid only attention to the vlogging, and some people both. The point is that video wasn't about destroying anyone or making them feel bad. It was literally, if you pay attention to what I was actually saying in the vlog, the whole video was dedicated to actually helping people.
Okay.
It's just people aren't paying attention to what I'm actually saying. They're just focusing on the negative, which I should have expected from people who are depressed, because you're more prone to focusing on the negative when you're depressed. So in that, it was my mistake for assuming people would see the positive.
Yeah. But a lot of them didn't. The issue is, like, you understand that a lot of people were hurt and upset by that video, right?
I think if we talk about any video, because I don't think I'm wrong for the cutting video at all. First of all, it's a joke, and secondly, it did help a lot of people, and thirdly, it was aimed to help people. The video I think we should be talking about, the one that I'm not, that was significantly a little bit screwed up, significantly a little bit. The video that I felt has been a big problem for me, comedically and personally, is the "I'm So Fat" video. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, you're totally. Yeah. You're making fun of a group of people who are already discriminated against. You're making them feel worse, and weight loss isn't easy.
Yeah, like how insane do you have to be to make a video about a problem in your country that affects 50% of the population, basically? That's pretty crazy, right? To make a video that is just you pouring out a bunch of things about this issue. Like, I don't know, I think we should take away freedom of expression on YouTube. What do you think?
Oh, definitely not. The way you went about it was...
Oh, okay, but, you know, since we don't want to take away freedom of expression, let's just go ahead and act like everyone's a demon who tells a joke.
There's a reason a lot of these people were overweight, though, you know, in our country. It's from gland.
Because they were likely fed poor products from the point they were born. They were taught bad habits, and or they have a glandular problem. That's most likely,
they
right?
have something like diabetes that they can't control.
Diabetes is something you obtain
from birth sometimes.
Well, yeah.
You don't even know what diabetes is.
Diabetes is a blood sugar issue. It could kill you.
No, it's not. It's a lack of insulin because your pancreas creates insulin. Sometimes people are born with this condition. I dated somebody who had diabetes.
But that doesn't make you fat.
Yes, it can. And sometimes
it doesn't make you fat, though.
Yes,
it can.
Yeah, it can make you fat. It's not exclusive, but you're also, when you made this video, you're also making fun inadvertently of people that have that problem and they can't control it. So they have a right to be offended.
Well, I know someone who has type 1 diabetes and they're not overweight.
That doesn't speak for millions of other people.
Well, I'm just saying. And, you know, the video wasn't about, you know, fat. I made plenty of videos that are saying, you know, who you are on the inside makes so much of what you are on the outside. What that video specifically was about is people who don't take care of themselves. I've had multiple people who are overweight tell me they thought that video was funny. And the reason they thought it was funny is because they saw the actual message in the video rather than just focusing on their emotions. That's another video where people just misunderstood the message. That video was definitely making fun of people who don't treat their body well, who take something that was a gift to them and abuse it. But it wasn't about, you know, people who have glandular problems. It wasn't people who were born with diabetes or anything like that. People who were born with disabilities.
But you basically, you overly generalized, pretty much made it seem like every fat person is a fat, lazy slob, and that's really offensive to people.
I would love to see any comedian sit in front of people and just hear them respond to people going, but you didn't think about the repercussions of your joke that people clearly can't take.
That does happen.
Remember
when
think
Natasha was under fire?
about the children.
It does happen.
The poor children.
Put under fire. Like, it happens.
Won't someone think of the children? Like, you just shouldn't take comedy seriously. Just stop. Don't take comedy seriously.
If the joke is in poor taste, the joke is in poor taste, and people are going to find
it's a joke. You know, it's not for society to individually in their whatever group, wherever they came from, decide unanimously, even though they didn't ask for everyone's vote, whether or not something is valid comedy or invalid comedy, poor taste, good taste, whatever. You know, if you, this is the real thing. If you find someone tells jokes that you can't handle, you should not watch them. Just like I don't watch certain comedians because their jokes are disgusting. Like people who talk about nonstop about their dick. I don't watch them because it's not entertaining. Or people who talk about degrading women constantly, like refer to women constantly as, you know, something lesser. You know, it's one thing if they tell one joke about that and then they're obviously not a chauvinist. But if later on they're still telling jokes about this and you start to get that this person really does think that women are lesser, I can't watch them. You know, it's just, I don't sit here and go, whoa, they said a chauvinist joke, that's not funny, because I would be silly to do that. I instead just don't watch them. So that's that.
Well, yeah, but a good example of this is Daniel Tosh. He told the one rape joke and the world exploded, but he's told other jokes kind of about rape that didn't get nearly as much negative feedback because the other one was in poor taste. He pointed at a woman in an audience and said, wouldn't it be funny if 5 guys raped her? That's not funny. I'm sorry, Daniel. Your joke's not funny. Your joke is horribly offensive. But the other one, he tells one about replacing his sister's face with silly string, and I thought that was pretty funny.
What's your point?
My point is that if the joke is in bad taste, it's gonna offend people.
I know.
And that's, you know, like, you keep doing it, like, you made the I'm so fat video, and then you made a speaks video back at what you said. Even though what you said was, like, a broad generalization of every fat person.
I think the Speaks video, if I remember it correctly, specifically said what I already said, which is that video was about people who don't take care of themselves.
You were like,
so there's nothing wrong with backing up me making fun of people.
Glandular problems or anything like that.
I did in the video. In the actual comedy video, I mentioned glandular problems and how a lot of people use that as an excuse when they don't really have a glandular problem. In that statement, I make it clear that some people have glandular problems and they are legitimate.
But, like, see, when you did that, though, now you're sending the message that people lie about glandular problems all the time.
They do. I've been told by people who don't have glandular problems that they have them. People do lie about that. Just like people say I'm big boned.
Some people cut themselves for attention, but most don't. Just like some people lie about glandular problems, but
the people who don't cut themselves for attention. You don't, do you? Because you never hear that they cut themselves.
Yeah, I'm aware of how cutting works and how people secretly cut.
No, if I have something that I want zero attention on, I don't want anybody to know about it. They won't find out.
Yeah,
if they do find out, I'm going to try to stamp it out. I'm not going to post pictures to Tumblr. I'm not going to post pictures to my Instagram or anything of that nature of me cutting myself because it's not for attention. If I want attention, and this applies to me too because I've done many things in the past I've said I didn't want attention for, but obviously I did, otherwise I wouldn't post it to the web. If you don't want attention for something, you keep it private. Yeah. That's the bottom line.
A lot of those cutting pictures online are posted anonymously so that people can talk about it anonymously with other people.
Okay, well then obviously they don't want specific attention for it, or maybe they're not brave enough to put their name next to it, or for whatever reason, who knows? But the point is that if you don't want attention for something, you don't post it. You don't share it with people.
Well, one of my best friends from high school cut herself on her hip. The way I found out, she bent over, and I saw the cut.
Okay, so your friend obviously didn't do it for attention.
Yeah, most people who cut don't.
Okay, so obviously I'm not talking about them when I say they're doing it for attention, because that wouldn't make any sense.
You said that you also say people cut because they're weak. No, people who cut are really strong because they're facing one of the toughest battles that they're in their face.
What did you just say before they're facing the toughest?
Like you said repeatedly that people who cut themselves are weak, but they're actually really strong. They're facing one of the toughest battles they'll ever have to in their lives.
I don't. You know, me saying that people who cut themselves are weak is a mistake. I don't agree with that statement. I've done that many times. Like people will say I'm a hypocrite. Sometimes I am a hypocrite, but sometimes I just don't agree with what I said before. And I don't agree that people who cut themselves are weak at all. I feel like they're going through an imbalance, or they have a disorder, or they're going through a number of things that in many cases is beyond their control. That doesn't make them weak, because I've never suffered that condition. I've never conquered that condition. So how could I conclude whether or not they're weak when I don't have anything to measure the strength of it with?
Exactly.
Or the strength required. So they're not weak. That was wrong of me to say.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm glad that you're admitting to that.
I've said this so many times in the past. I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. No problem at all.
I have totally lost track of where I am in the notes at this point.
How about this? Let's continue this another time in the future. We've been talking for like over an hour.
I have one more thing I want to address.
All right.
One more thing that a lot of people once again ask me. I wanted to ask the big ones first. How come sometimes fans will come to you for advice and be really rude to them? One example is, of course, the classic Walmart scenario. But then the other day, a kid emailed you.
I still stand by that Walmart thing. That's no reason to kill yourself over or attempt to kill yourself.
His or her mother was being emotionally abused. You don't know what happens behind closed doors.
The number one example they used of their mom emotionally abusing them was their mom not wanting to take them to Walmart.
No, the problem was that he or she offered the mom $50 to take to Walmart, and the mom told him to shove it. That's not something you say to your teenage kids.
Okay, let me tell you something. My mom, when I was little, I was attacked with a fire extinguisher by my mom. I was slapped in the face by my mom. I was attacked with a flashlight by my mom. I was told many things by my mom. I was made fun of when I cried by my mom. I've been through a lot of things with my mom, and I still think she's a brilliant mother. I still love her.
After all that, why?
That sounds like.
Are you serious? You're gonna. All right. Well,
attached with a flashlight.
That makes sense, but the problem is.
Hey, you know what? It's not easy being a parent. Okay, parents make mistakes too.
I know. I have a 5-year-old.
Okay. Well, no, I'm just saying, and you know, I wasn't 5 years old when she attacked me with a flashlight. I was like 15. And when I was attacked with a fire extinguisher, it wasn't like, you know, she actually smoked me out of my room because I was holding the door shut. So she stuck the fire extinguisher.
Oh, so she didn't like beat you with the fire extinguisher. She just kind of scared you out. I was imagining her like hitting you over the head with a fire extinguisher.
No, she hit me with this big flashlight that was like has one of those giant batteries in it. She smacked me on the side. I think it was just because I said I didn't want to do chores or something stupid. Okay. But no, she smoked me out of the room because I was holding the door shut, and she smacked. She spanked me, she smacked me in the face. She did a lot of things physically to me, and she said a lot of things that were very mean. But, you know, parents aren't perfect. And, you know, if I said, Mom, can you drive me to Walmart? She says, shove it. I laugh because that's like the weakest thing that she would ever have done to me. Shove it. I was depressed when I was a kid. I wanted to die. I think I was actually at a point where I prayed my heart would stop in my sleep so I could just stop feeling so much suffering and pain. But, you know, I didn't, again, go to some guy and say, hey, my mom won't take me to Walmart. I want to die. It wouldn't make sense because that's beyond a first world problem.
But how do you
know the Walmart was just an example. This kid had been in the hospital for committing suicide twice because of how his mom treated her.
That was a part of that was me not paying attention to me. Like I did pay attention to the Walmart part. I did pay attention to the Walmart part, but I didn't so much pay attention to, you know, what they did to themselves because of these obviously trivial problems. I mean, it's hard to debate that that's not a trivial problem if you look at people with real problems.
You don't know what happened. That was the example you were given.
You have an opportunity. The only example they gave me was the Walmart thing. If
that
you
was
have
like
an opportunity,
didn't the kid say that was what happened to him that day? Maybe that was like a weak example.
No, they had the opportunity to tell me the worst thing that their mom had ever done to them, and they said
maybe
Walmart.
They don't want to do that. Maybe they don't want to open that up to the
internet. They don't want to open up what the worst thing their parents have done to them, but they're happy to tell me that they've been hospitalized.
One of your fans came to you for help because his mother was abusive.
Well, here, let me make this very clear.
That's not okay.
Let me make this very clear. I've said this in videos before. I'm not a sensitive person. You know, I can be sensitive about a lot of things, but to put it bluntly, I am an asshole to so many people. And that's not being an asshole. Like, you can try, if you're an asshole, you can try not to be an asshole to a lot of people, but the asshole just keeps coming out no matter what you do.
Try to fix that. That sounds like a personal.
You can try. You can try. Like, for instance, look at any comedian who's an asshole to people. They tend to, a lot of people, like, I don't want to use, I feel so stupid when I compare myself to people who are well known. I wish I had someone at a lower level to compare myself to.
I don't know how that makes sense. Bruce, when he was a comedian, was an absolute asshole on stage, but people said he was the nicest person ever off. So it's all a matter of who you are as a person on the inside.
No, I'm. Let's just forget the comedian aspect. Just some people are assholes, and they can't. I mean, it's just part of their personality. With responding to people online, you can easily not respond to them if you have something negative to say. And obviously, like, that was how long ago? Like, we're not even mentioning the 12-year-old girl I made fun of. You guys ever find out about that? There's a 12-year-old.
I was about to mention the kid that went to your business email the other day.
No. I'm talking about there's 12-year-old girl who was. See, this is me being an asshole. I find this to be funny. More first world problems. This girl came to my. Hold on. This girl. Hold on. This girl came to my site and she got banned for saying a bunch of things. And then she made, this is such an asshole thing to do. She made a video of her videotaping the, she didn't show her face or anything. She just videotaped her getting banned from the forums and was like making a big deal out of it. So I made another video, all like completely free. Like I was like, you know, completely distraught by getting blocked from a forum or whatever. I took that video down because it was ridiculous. It was so insensitive. It was stupid. It was immature. It was pathetic on my part. But that's just an example of how big of an asshole I can be. That's something that you have to consciously do, yes, to go through these things, and you learn from those lessons. You say, okay, obviously I shouldn't do these things because I'm hurting people's feelings, like with anything personal that I do, like talking about that person specifically. I'm happy to say something about a group of people, but when it comes to, you know, saying something about this girl who goes to Walmart or doesn't go to Walmart and now she's suicidal, that's too direct. That's that. When you do things like that, you turn into a bully, and it's like, yeah, I'm an asshole, but I don't have to be a bully. That's a choice. So that's a shift I've taken in a lot of that.
Okay. What about the other day you emailed your business email when he was trying to ask you advice about his dad? Like, I know it was a business email, but he was probably young. You probably only saw one email address and sent it to it. You didn't have to call him out.
The email address is at business mail only. You have to be fucking stupid to type in at business mail only and think that that was the appropriate address to write. I made that domain and I made that address. No, you literally have to be stupid to write somebody at their business mail only address and go, hey, this isn't business mail, but it's like, what is wrong with you? Why would you do that?
Find the other email address.
There is no other email address. I have a contact page. It's onision.net/contact. I've had it for about 3 years.
Yeah, it's
you have to be dumb. And I make fun of dumb people.
So if a kid wants to get a hold of you privately, this is the only email address that's on the page.
Kids shouldn't be contacting me privately.
Well, they want to because they want to ask you for advice because that's what you did up until a few months ago.
No, I've had a business mail for some time.
That's not what I said.
You're talking about advice? Just advice?
No, I mean like.
Yeah, that's on my contact page. It's very. I make it very clear. This is business mail only.
It's the only email address on your Facebook page, and a kid wants to ask you a question for your videos via email. That's the only way that they have to go.
No, they should probably register in their brain that when something's at business mail only, they should probably only email it with business content.
If you're 13 years old, how are you going to really take that step?
I wasn't stupid when I was 13.
You remember being 13 years old?
Yes. Yeah, I do. I would not write someone at a business email with non-business.
Yeah, but it's the only email address they have to have.
And if
on the Facebook.
They could write me via message on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, but
there's many ways to contact me. I make it okay, for instance this. On every single channel I have, it says contact me. You click on that, it goes to my contact page. I make it very obvious how to contact me.
Yeah, but this kid obviously, like, he was going to be urgent, so he figured he'd see the email first.
No.
It makes sense to me. If I really get hold of someone, I will message them.
You will completely disregard obvious statements that they don't want to be contacted about non-business stuff.
Still,
that's really inconsiderate.
Someone, would you not talk to them on like every way you could?
No, I'd respect their business email.
You wanted to, but if you're a little kid, like you're not gonna know a business email.
Little kid is not 13. A little kid is like 11. When I was 13, I was pretty competent.
Okay, but obviously this kid wasn't, and he's a fan. And you slammed him all over.
I slammed people in general.
Well, yeah, but this came to you for advice. That's the problem. Why are you?
Did I say their name?
No, but still, he's a.
So how did I slam them? Did I give any indication to who it was? No.
No, but you should still know that it's like a kid coming to you for advice that you just made fun of in a very public manner. Doesn't matter if he said his name or not. He's going to see that and be offended.
I think one thing that people should take out of this entire discussion is that I shouldn't be expected to be Jesus Christ. I shouldn't be expected to be this guy who has unlimited capacity to deal with bullshit.
Nobody said that.
I'm a human being just like everybody else. And if I get pissed off because people keep emailing me their little problems about stupid shit, and to my business email, that's my right. I can get upset by that.
Okay, I completely disagree. No one ever said that you had to be Jesus. We're just pointing out things that.
Well, no, people expect me to be something other than human, and it's like you know what? Some people are nice, some people are rude, some people are in between, some people are a variety of things.
And some people come to you advice and not expect.
I have a limit to what I'm willing to put up with, and you know what? Did you see how many likes that got? Did you see how many people agreed with me with that? A lot of people, because a lot of people in society are sick of idiots. We really are. We're just sick of people being completely stupid and disregarding obvious signs. Do not walk here, and then seeing some asshole fall down the stairs because he's an idiot who doesn't pay attention to the obvious signs. Just like, a lot of my videos. If you cut, do not watch this video, and people still watch it. We're in a world of dumbasses, and I'm one of the dumbasses on a regular basis. But I totally understand it if people rant about me when I'm being stupid. And they should understand why I rant about them when they're stupid. Of course I'm not saying their names. Of course I'm not making personal attacks against them, telling people to go hate on them or anything. I'm just expressing myself, because that's what people do to maintain their sanity in the world.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I still completely disagree.
That's, good for you. Good for you sitting right in front of a person practically saying you disagree with them. That's very brave of you. That's cool. What?
No, I'm just clearing my throat.
Oh. No, but I really appreciate, you being willing to talk to me about all this stuff. And and feel free to compile another list in a week or two, or I don't know when.
Yeah, we didn't really cover all the questions, so I can just keep those and then have people add.
Yeah, we'll talk more in the future about, I don't know, everything that's nobody's business.
Fair enough.
Just because I don't even really understand why I bother, but people want to talk, so I'll talk. I'm not this guy who sits in his little lair and cuts himself off from the rest of the world. I'm a human being. So I'm happy to be reasonable for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna click in broadcast, and
All right, cool.
thanks for talking to me.
Yeah.